guys, good evening. Welcome to a new video. This is Zach from BigBangCrypto. In today's video, we'll go further into the webhook integration. I will show you guys exactly how you can set up your own trading view alerts using, for example, the indicator that we've provided you in our Discord. For everyone that's new to this video, please join our Discord. You can find, for example, this free trading view indicator, which gives you buy, sell, TP, ad signals. So the ads are basically to compound onto your trade, which is something that a lot of indicators are missing, but it's very useful. Guys, this is open source. You can see exactly what the code behind this is, which is amazing because there's other indicators that are asking a lot of money for similar stuff, right? And they're not giving you the code, which is, I think, the most important thing, because you want to know what you're doing, guys. You want to know which indicator you're using for your signals, because if something goes wrong, what are you going to blame it on, right? So I think that's very, very important. So, guys, let's first of all look a bit into where we are currently in at the with the regards to the Bitcoin price. I made a small mistake. I said that this bigger purple line that we're hitting was the 377 EMA, but it's actually the 144 EMA. So yeah, we're kind of ping-ponging between these two lines, which yeah, brings me to an idea, right? So let's set up our first alerts at the top, so at the purple line, and our buy alert at the lower pink line. And I think that would be our first thing. Then we like to add another table at the VWAP and maybe a third one at the 21 EMA. Let's first actually have a bigger look into the chart, because what we can see is there is some confluence at the 377 EMA, which I kind of thought was this bigger purple line up here, but this is the 144, this is the 377, and this is coming in right below our golden pocket, guys. So I think this would be a nice retracement to make overall. It would have to kind of kick in anytime soon, but yeah, this is something I can see happening, right, guys? So if it comes here, this is where you actually want to buy, because we can also see that the TRS is telling us we're currently overbought. So that means that volume and price are both overbought. So yeah, it seems very likely to see a retracement, and yeah, this was such a such a move that we've seen a lot of times in Bitcoin, where you have these pump and dumps, and then from the dump we just retrace all the way back to the top. Doesn't mean we have to break it. It happens a lot, and then we just retrace. So there is no need to FOMO into a long here, in my opinion. Of course, if we start flipping some of these areas and flipping them into support, yeah, you could start looking for higher before we hit the golden pocket. But yeah, this is the best trade, so be patient. And here we can do some market making just to farm some rebates and have some trading activity. Um, yeah, so the webhook, guys. I've explained that you guys would have to install Ngrok. So Ngrok, you can just download it for your system, for Windows in this case, and then you get this ngrok.x, and you can basically double tap this. Guys, you will need to authenticate yourself with Ngrok. So let me see if I've actually already started an Ngrok. No, we can do that right now. So if I double click this and we type in the following, basically this is our Ngrok link, right? We have to use this link, and I'm logged in currently. You don't need to buy a premium plan, but you just need to log in, which will allow you to keep your port forwarded all the time. And if you don't log in, guys, every 2 hours this connection will be basically terminated. So every 2 hours you will have to refresh your connection with Ngrok, and that's yeah, it's going to be a hell of a job. So you don't want to go into that. So just log in. Find out how you can log in. It's not that hard. And if you're logged in and then type ngrok http 80, it will give you a port forwarding link. So what you do is you copy over this link. So let's just take a notepad so that we have all our necessities um, close to us. 1 second. So there we go. Go here, and then you type /webhook behind your link. All right. So, okay, we have our link here. And the next thing we do is we go to our user interface for tests. And as you can see on the left side, guys, sorry, let me come closer to the microphone before we have any microphone issues. Let me see, is there any issues? No. What's the name of the RSI indicator? Arthur, that's the TRS. So that's our proprietary indicator. It's basically the average of the RSI and the MFI. So maybe I can show you guys that quickly for the people that haven't seen why we've chosen for this particular indicator. Um, so we just want to give our bot some logic about what is overbought and what is oversold. So how we've decided to do that is not to include the very simple RSI indicator. Okay, so here I have taken two oscillators. One is the top one is the RSI, which is the relative strength index, which basically measures how much price moves in regard to past candles, past price action. And the MFI is the money flow index. And the money flow index basically calculates how much volume comes into the market using market orders in regards to the past volume. So it's basically the same as the RSI oscillator, but it does this for volume, so basically transacted volume. What makes this so interesting to combine these two, in my opinion, is that you're basically looking at yeah, differences or divergences between money and price movement, right? So if then you can kind of detect where the market is being absorbed, and you can also kind of see where the makers are just making space for price to move without there actually being a lot of volume being transacted. So let's look at this because right away I can see very interesting thing here. In this particular move right here, we can see that the MFI is not even that close to getting overbought, but we can see that price is actually very overbought, right? So what does this tell us? Well, the price moved a lot in regard to past movements, but the money that was flowing in wasn't equally large to the price moving. So this is a scenario where actually the market makers have chosen to bring the price here. Because it's not actual people market buying and into selling walls. No, it's the market makers removing their walls to reach a certain price area just for a very short amount of time. And yeah, you guys can guess what their idea behind this particular move was. So that's a liquidity, and just to fill that blank in for you guys. So yeah, you can start looking into this because there's actually very, very interesting things you can take away from this. So let me try to find one more scenario. In this particular scenario here, I hope this is very, could you link this? Yeah, I will link that in the Discord after the video. So in this particular scenario, we can see that the price isn't going down. So here we can see the RSI, which refers to the price, isn't going down, but the MFI is definitely making a shock down. That means that someone market sold, or yeah, the market was selling aggressively, but we absorbed. So this is price absorbing volume basically, and this is where you get like a very interesting view on the market. All right. So we've basically made an indicator, we call it the true relative strength, and it combines these two together. Um, so let me remove those. And the reasoning behind that is that it gives us a very good overview what is actually overbought and what is actually oversold. Instead of just looking for price, we take into account also the volume. Okay, so let me bring back the true relative strength here. And let's go back to our webhooks because that's what this video is about. So we have our link, we saved it into a notepad, and now we go to our indicator. What you can see here is that we have a strategy template basically for you guys. The tables that I have in my bot currently, let me refresh it quickly. Um, the tables I have in my bot are displayed here. So the dbag longs, dbag shorts, long, short at, blah, 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 blah. All my tables are displayed here. And below there, it says whether the position should be closed if it's a long, or if it's a short, should it be closed? And if you have no position, should you close it? Well, it's kind of useless, right? So let's say we want to set up our first alert. Well, we'd have to go down here to the signal section, open it up, and we get this template. Now let's go back to our chart and actually find out what we want to do currently, or what we are looking for currently. Let's try to buy the VWAP actually. So I want to set up an alert here. Okay, and I go back to my user interface to basically write my alert message that TradingView will understand and Test will understand. So it's currently clean. All the things say no action. That's fine. That's what you want to double check if it's a clean template. Then you want to choose how you would like to save it to your little screen to the left. So your basically saved templates or saved strategies, whatever you want to call it. Let's call this the bull. Okay, you don't have to save it now because then this disappears. So you just press the bull table. Then you're going to look for the tables that you want to do something, or that you want to start running or activating. So it tells me here, apply to long. So do we want to long if we have a long position currently? I think no, so we just leave it to no action. If we have a short position, do we want this long table to activate? Yes. If we have no position, do we want to activate it? No. So only if we have a short position, I want to long the VWAP, basically taking profit on my short. And I will show you in a second why that is. Okay, so I will apply this, and then it asks me, do I want to do I want any other table to be activated? Well, no, I just want this long table to be activated for now. Do I want my positions to be closed if it's a long or a short? No, really. So let's just keep that open. And then what I do is I can save it, and this template will basically show me what I've saved as my bull signal, and it will tell me that I'm trying to short, or if I have a short position, I will run the long table upon this trigger, upon reaching this alert basically. So I copy over this message. As soon as I press the copy button, I can basically go to this little notepad and copy this message here, just so you guys can see. All right. So it basically tells me if there is a buying position, then activate none. If there is a sell position, activate long, and deactivate none, close no positions. And yeah, it does this for everything, and then it copies in your key from Genesis Algo, basically how you connect to our server. So it copies out this message as soon as you click on the copy bool button. Could you go over the tables and their functionality? Yeah, I'll do that afterwards just to make sure that we have this part covered in this video. This is the message that you want to copy into TradingView. So I can remove that for now. And let's go back to TradingView. And we still haven't reached the VWAP, so I can still start activating this long table there. And what I do is basically copy over the message that I just showed you guys into the message file. Then I give the alert name a name, and I call it bull long, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. And then you want to copy over your webhook connection. So you want to press this button, webhook URL, and then you want to paste in your URL that we just received from our Ngrok connection. So let's go here. Oh, no, we saved it to our notepad, so we don't have to do that. And we already wrote /webhook behind it. So this is all good. We can copy it, bring it into our alert, copy it in, and yes, sir. There we go. If you see this orange line, that means that the alert is ready. So as soon as price drops to the VWAP here, this alert will go off, which will set off the table in our bot. So well, we have to double check if the bot is not already running. Well, in this scenario, it's already running. So what I have to do is stop it, because otherwise nothing will start. So I'll stop the bot. Okay. and it stopped. Well, I always press refresh data after starting and stopping tables because then I can make sure if it's actually went through. Because if you start and stop too many tables in the same kind of seconds, then yeah, some of them might not actually stop. So you want to double check on that. Um, all right, so this is how this account is currently looking like, and these are yeah, these are closing orders from shorts that we've done up there. So these remain, but as we can see in the order history, we've just canceled. We should have canceled a lot of orders, did we? Yeah, so it canceled all the opening orders from the bull, and yeah, so that one has been shut off. So as soon as the signal goes off, we should receive our alert, and our bot should start placing long orders. So it's simple like that, guys. You just go over to your trading view, set your alert, create the webhook signal in test. So you scroll down to the signals, and you can basically save them as templates for later on, so that you always have like your strategy ready to copy instead of like having to make the signals every time, right? So yeah, that's that part. And yeah, let's just continue with another table or another strategy, and I'm going to make a very, very simple table just to go over the tables in some more simplicity for the newer user so that you can see that this is very flexible. You decide what your orders are like and what your order templates are like. And the templates that you receive from me, those are my strategies, but I definitely advise everyone to use their own strategies because yeah, we want as much diverse data as possible. Of course, it has to be good data, but yeah, everyone following me is not the best for gathering trading data, basically. So this is the right thing. So guys, I have two tables here, or two folders. And the first folder is basically tables that are the amounts are based on dollar values. And also the offsets are based on dollar values. So that's the first one I will show you guys. This is not Excel, this is a different program. So, but this is the same as Excel. I'm just trying to show you guys that every offset here is a dollar value, so you don't see any percentage sign behind them. Also, the amounts are dollar values, no percentages behind them. All right, that means that they're very static. It's just the same amount of dollars away from price that you will start bidding. Okay, then we have the other table, this one, and this one has, oh, probably only not for this. Um, so here the offsets are percentages mostly, and also the amounts are based on your account balance. So if it says, for example, 5%, that means that the trade amount will be 5% of your available balance on Bybit. Right? So these are more dynamic tables. They will grow with the trend as price goes up or down, and they will also grow and compound onto your profits if your account balance grows. So these are the new tables. You guys can start running these, but they will be less aggressive because they are based on your balances. And these tables, if you run these on like low balances, they will be very aggressive, right? So that's just yeah, whatever you want to choose. Do you want percentages or do you want dollar amounts? for this, oh, I'm getting another. Okay. For this video, we will just basically create very simple dollar offsets. I can also combine some stuff, but yeah, let's see. Let's see. If you guys have suggestions, by the way, for what you guys want me to create, and I'm open to that. Let's first open up just any table. All right, so that we have this first row, which you always have to copy over, and then also start a new spreadsheet. Okay, so we have the debug short here. We copy over the first row so that we have all the names of the settings. So that's the first thing you have to do if you want to create your own table. Um, what I like to do is also take one table, one setting row over so that you have the true and false statements. All right. Okay, so from here we're going to start making our own logic. So let's take out the chart for this. And let's go to the lowest time frame so that we can start seeing things work out as soon as possible. We're not going into the 30-second, but 1 minute should do. All right. So what I want to set up is something like, okay, if we cross above this TRS value, then I want to start longing, for example, right? Because we've had our low and it becomes likely that we reach a overbought condition at some point, probably. So let's set something like that up. I think that would be fun. So then we would say that how do we want to long? So let's say the price goes up a little bit more and the TRS follows and then our alert goes off. What do we exactly want to do? Well, let's say that we want to start aggressively bidding with very low contract sizes and following price up until this particular value. So the 68 value. That's our strategy right now. That's what I'm going to develop in this table, right? So aggressively long, sell before the 60 or 70, and then maybe even short or something, right? So let's try to make something like that. Okay, I start off with putting in offset amounts. That's basically how far away from the price of Bybit do you want to start your first bid. Okay, so how far away from price do you want to start bidding? So let me explain that in a little bit more detail. Okay, and this will come with a story that I've basically discussed with one of the users recently. So guys, in Bybit you have the market price, I mean, which is basically what we are trading right now, and then you have the underlying price, which is this yellow one here, which is the mark price. So this is the market price, let's call it that, or the index price, whatever it's called, and this is the mark price. Mark price is basically the average of some spot exchanges, and our price will follow this price. And if it doesn't, then the funding will make it follow that price, right? So the funding is basically every 8 hours, people have to pay the other side of the trade. So there is people shorting on this exchange, there is people longing on this exchange, and that's basically the job of this exchange is to basically match those people together. That's their only job, right? They're not selling us contracts, they're matching us together. So they always have to find some equilibrium price for that to be the case, that everything matches. And if they diverge too much, so there's too many people that want to long or that want to short, then this funding basically creates an incentive for the counterparty to start stepping in. So currently, or let's say 90% of the time, this funding will be set to 0.01%. Guys, we're going to do some calculating in this video, right? So this will be a very important video for everyone to watch, and maybe watch twice, because the alerts are very important for you to understand how to set them up. But also these things I think are very, very important. So we have a funding rate of 0.01. Let's say a user takes a short position um, for 10,000 contracts, right? For 10,000 contracts, which is like how much is for him? It's like 100x. Let's just say that imaginary scenario. He took a 100x short, and for 10,000 contracts with only $100 on his account, right? He took that short, let's say 6 months ago, or let's say 10 months ago, whatever. We're going to come up with the amount of time later. But he took that short a while ago, and the funding has been like this, because as I told you, the funding normally is like 90% of the time it's 0.01%. That means that everyone who's long will pay the people that are short 0.01% every 8 hours. That's 3 times a day. They will pay the people that are short some of their money. Just why? Because yeah, they want to go long and they have to pay. All right, so if you're long and you see this number, basically you're paying to the people that are short. All right, and this particular person has an imaginary position of 10,000 contracts with only $100 on his account. He took that a long time ago, and he's now catching in on these fundings. Let's calculate this imaginary scenario, because actually he's getting 1%, because it's 100x, right? So he's getting 1% funding every 8 hours. So that's basically 3% over his $100. Okay, so every 8 hours, because he put in $100 of margin, and this allowed him to open a trade of 10,000 contracts. But now every 8 hours, basically, he's getting no, every day he's getting 3%, right? Every day he's getting 3% on his $100 margin that he put up for this trade, and his account of $100 is besides if the price is going down or not, it's growing 3% every day. Guys, 3% every day. Does that make sense? That's crazy. So yeah, I came up to, or the reason I explain this is because I'm very aware of this funding rate, and some people that trade on these exchanges, they are not aware of how big the impact is if they have a leverage trade open against the funding. Because guys, this can, for Ethereum, for example, I've seen it a lot of times in bull markets at 0.3%. Right? So yeah, we don't want to do the calculation on that. If you like 10x long and you have a 0.3%, you're paying tens of percents of your account balance every day to the people that are short. Keep this in mind, guys. Keep this in mind. It's very important, because the story that someone told me is he had like a short position at 20,000, and then he ended up with a liquidation price of 55K. But after after leaving it for a while, the funding has basically paid so much that his liquidation got up to like 68K. Right, so this can really have a huge impact, guys. So keep that in the back of your minds, and let's get back to creating a table. Um, so we have like 3 orders set, and we're going to copy them so that we have 6. All right, so now we have 6, and we're going to increase the offsets that are away. Oh, that's what I was explaining. Sorry, guys. I'll get back to that. Get back to that for a second, because I got sidetracked with the funding story. But what I was referring to is this bid and ask, this order book, right, guys? So if the price is 46,400, which is the price at BitMEX, this is what we trade based off, and the first person that wants to buy is at 399.5, so 46,399.5. Okay, and the first person that wants to sell is at 46.4. Right? And these are the numbers that if you want to be the first one buying with a limit order, which, as you know, a limit order pays us a certain percentage, so the 0.025% rebate. So we want to use limit orders as much as possible as a market maker. So if you want to be the first in line, you have to be $0.5 So half a dollar away from this market price. Sorry, market price. Okay, so we want to be half a dollar away from the market price, which is basically what we start off with. So our first order is half a dollar away from the market price. We're the first in line with our first order. Okay, so what is the logic behind this? So if we are buying half a dollar away from price, so basically price is coming down, fills our first buy order. What is this entry multiplier? Well, the entry multiplier multiplies your offset with a certain factor. So you can ignore this because if you set your offset correctly, you don't need to use this. This is more for like automated trading so that this can be adjusted and for some other stuff that we'll get into later. So you can keep those numbers to 1. But the exit multiplier is very important because this basically tells your agent how far away do you want to exit this filled order. So if it's half a dollar away that we got filled, 100 times a half basically is $50, sorry, is $50, right? So $50 away from price. So we buy half a dollar away from the market price, and then we place our sell $50 above market price. So our spread that we will gain is $50 on this particular trade, right? And if it's this particular trade, it's 3.5 right? So we want to place that order 350 dollars away from price. Okay, so we buy $3.50 below the price, and we place our exit order $350. So 3.5 times 100, and yeah, that counts for all of these trades basically. The amounts in this scenario are set to percentages. That means that it's going to use your account balance in order to decide what your trading balance will be or what your trade amount will be. Let's set these to static amounts. All right, so we've set up some trading amounts. Entry timeouts are basically after how many seconds does this agent have to check whether he's still half a dollar away from the price. Because if the price moves up, then we're not anymore the first in line, right? So after how many seconds do we want to recheck and go to our spot again as being the first in line? So currently it's set to 0.05 minutes, right? Let's set this to, yeah, let's keep these the same, and let's keep these as like hanging on orders. So basically these last three will stay for 5, 10, and 15 minutes on their spot, and then they will start moving up if price actually moved that much for that long. Okay, so that's how you use the entry timeouts. The exit timeouts is basically after how many minutes do you want this particular agent to give up on its profit target. So if this was $50 away for spread, so we're trying to lock $50 spread, but after 8,888 minutes, it didn't reach this particular price, then it will place an exit at break even. So where it entered, it will place a limit exit, right? So if the exit timeout hits, then it will basically place its exit at its entry point instead of going for the profits, right? So that's also a very important one to take into account. You can set exit timeouts, which will make your agents give up on their potential profits. So let's basically set a couple of those, 5, or let's set this one very low, 10, 30. All right, and these last three are not giving up because 8,888 minutes is basically well, you're telling your agent don't give up, bro. You got this. You got this 1,600 spread. You must achieve it. Okay. So you can see the prevent entries is basically referring to our TRS. So do you want these agents for their entry to listen to the TRS? So you want to set a TRS prevention basically. Do we want to do that? That will make it more exciting. So let's put that on true. Um, Go here. We set our prevent entries on true so that right away we have to fill in these couple of things, which I'll highlight for you guys. This is basically our TRS settings. It says RSI, but we refer to the TRS. The RSI period is referring to the amount of candles that this has to be calculated for, right? So if you double click on the line or on the setting icon here, you'll get the length of the RSI and the length of the MFI. This refers to how many candles does it have to take into account when coming up with the overbought and oversold statements. So let's say we increase this by a lot, let's say to 44. That will basically mean that we don't have as many overbought and oversold conditions anymore. We basically have one overbought here and one overbought here, which are pretty nice short opportunities. So because it's basically taking more past candles into account to tell you when there is an actual overbought and oversold condition. So by increasing them, you can basically get better alerts. And let's now try to decrease them to like 4. Well, obviously, it's going to take less past candles into account, so therefore it's going to tell you it's overbought or oversold a lot quicker, a lot more often, right? So let's try to use 2. I've never used true. Yeah, let's try that. We're going to use the TRS period of 2. So it's just, I can't follow it, but yeah, let's see if Tess can do something with this, right? So anytime we have a really small retracement, then I'll start bidding instead of just following the price up blindly. We'll try to get in on a low. So, okay, and what are the values that it has to trigger on? Well, 24 and 68. So below 24 they will buy, and above 68 they will sell in this scenario because they're only allowed to buy, which we'll also get into in a second. But let's see if 24 makes sense. 24 makes a lot of sense. I think it can of course be a lot lower, but let's just keep it to 24. So below 24, the trigger will go off to buy. Why 24 and not lower? Well, then I'm giving it a little bit of room to get into position, right? I don't want to be triggering it at the very low because then price might have already moved up. So bidding doesn't make any sense anymore because price action is basically going up. So I will have to start a little bit prematurely, basically. Okay, so buy below 24. If you set prevent exits, so now currently 24 is our prevent entries because below 24 we will be buying. That's the oversold. When it's oversold, we want to buy, and when it's overbought, we want to sell. And yeah, the prevent entries are set and the value is okay with us. Then prevent exits basically says if you enter 24, do you also want to only place your exit? And our exit is $50 spread after we reach 68 TRS. So it will not place an exit only after we reach 68. So let's set some of those true as well so that you can see how that will play out. So we set that one, and the first one we'll just set that to true, and the other ones we'll leave empty. So that means that if this one is filled, this first particular agent, it will buy and then not place its exit until the TRS has reversed back above 68. The other one, the next one, will aim for a $350 spread, and as soon as it's filled, it will place this exit. Let's basically bring this exit a lot closer. Let's bring it to 35 so that we can see this limit exit being placed in a second. All right, now I'm going to give them a name. So I call them stream 1, stream 2. Oh, that's a capital T, stream 2, and then I drag these over and I have stream 1 to 6. These are my first 6 agents that I've just created. What I can see here is that there is an active above price. That means that these agents will only be active above 48,888. Okay, so by setting active above or active below prices, you can restrict your agents to only be activated above or below a certain price level, right? So let's currently say that these agents can only long as we're below 46,666. Okay, so these are long agents, so they can only long as we are below 46,666. Okay, we're going to remove the active above. Oh, this is the wrong field, by the way. Let me go back to my table. Okay, so active below, we set it to 4666, and we remove these orders here, and we drag this one down. Okay, so that's that. All right, so basically I've created some DCA grid trading strategy already. Yeah, you can see that this was pretty simple, and yeah, there's still a lot more possibilities here. But okay, from here we are going to the second layer because you see in my tables that you have parents and children, as we call them. So these are your parents, these are your first agents, and then you can say, okay, this particular order. So if we dropped 26 to the downside, and I have like all these orders above, but price is just dropping. What I want to do is have some small agents, so agents with less contracts but shorting the market because maybe we'll drop more and I can catch some of the short action. So I can basically create children for stream 5. I copy over the name, paste it in here, and to basically create children, you'll have to place a dot behind the name, and then it's the first child, so dot 1. So this is the first child of parent stream 5. Okay, now I'm gonna copy over some of the logic here and paste it in here. Okay, and we said that we want these three agents to be shorting instead of longing. So what we have to do is we have to say that the buys are not allowed. So onvar is false. In yours on your Excel, it will show as false. And then we copy the true to here. Okay, so these last three children are allowed to sell, but not allowed to buy. And let's set the TRS to false. So it's going to ignore the TRS for entries and exits, right? And yeah, that looks good, but we're going to do tiny exit targets because we're not planning to short. This was a long strategy, but the shorts are just to do some extra action or extra market making, and we're going to give them like two, two, two. You can also use this strategy to basically do partial take profits, where you basically set a very high exit target for your initial DCA entries, and then on your children, you give them basically very tiny short amounts, and you basically take partial profits at certain levels because your parent won't reach the exit target anyway. So you're left, for example, if you would have like these with 10,000 contracts, then you could have like 200 or 500 contracts trade sizes for your children that will basically take profit partially, and then you set very high exit targets. Okay, so that's just a way to use this simple format. Okay, we don't need active below setting. So this is a very, very simple parent-child table. And yeah, let's run it to just see how it will play out on the market. You have to download your Excel sheet as a CSV. The color won't really matter. It won't impact the CSV file at all. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to stop the bot for a second. So the alert also goes away, but by stopping the bot, I can restart with this new table and I can remove the old tables. So the bot should start up a lot quicker as well. Once. Okay, so I'm just going to delete my old tables here. Okay, so I've deleted those. I have them saved somewhere else, so it doesn't really matter. And then I will copy in or paste in my test table that we just created. So I just drag it into this active tables folder. Let's just make the name a little bit nicer. Okay, so also this is very important for your webhook alerts. The names cannot have like special characters, so it should just be letters. Okay, very important. And I've closed anything that has to do with the bot. Okay, I made sure that everything is closed, all the Python windows, and then I click Run New UI.bat. For you, it might be called a little bit different, but it's the same thing. All right, and guys, to activate your webhooks, so if you have your, because I forgot to tell you guys this, and this is also very important, um, to make sure that your webhooks will be received by Tess, you go to the source folder. Okay, and we will make this step easier very soon, but for now you go into your source folder in your bot, then you click to the right of this little window here, and then it will highlight the whole text. Then you remove the whole text and you type CMD, okay, and then you press enter. Then you get a window like this. So now you're navigated in your test v3 test source folder, and here you type Python webhook1 dot py. Okay, you press enter. Okay, so this will allow tests to receive signals from TradingView. So besides your Ngrok, you also need to start the webhook connection in test itself. Okay, we will make this into a button, but for now, this is the way to do it, right? And I can currently start my tables because test has loaded the one table that I just have loaded up, and I refresh my data so that I get this one single table and all the rest refreshes. And now I run this test table. Okay. The first thing that will happen is, of course, all our past orders will be removed by test. So that's what you can see right now. And um, yeah, now it will wait for our entry conditions. Um, let's see, which was half a dollar away from the price, but we have a prevent entry, so the RSI of oh, we didn't change this. How did we not change this? I really thought I changed this to 2, but we didn't. So the TRS of 14 should be below 24. So let's change that quickly back to 4, or yeah, 2 even, just to make sure that we have something within this video. Okay, and we just download this new file again. I could do it actually easier. Sorry for burping in the mic, if you guys heard that. I can do this easier. I can just go here and let's first always make sure you close your bot before starting a new one. So just close out of all these Python command windows. And then what you do is you go to your active tables, you open this one, and I have Visual Studios installed, so it gives me this thing, and then I have a library to fake like something like Excel. So you guys probably don't have that, but it will make it a little bit faster for me to change the TRS periods to, and then I apply changes. Okay, and now we can run it again. Let's see how fast the startup of one table is, right? Because it consumes a little bit of time to load multiple tables. But if you only have one table with a couple of agents, that's it. We're ready to go already. So we refresh this one again, just to make sure we Gucci. Yeah, that looks good. And then we start it up, right? So we can see this, and you can check if that actually worked by pressing this one. And there we go, right? Okay, so basically now we wait for our TRS to go below a certain value on the period of 2. So yeah, we need only a little bit of patience, I think. Okay, so I just checked for you guys. You can't drop in new tables while the bot is running because it will mess up the user interface. But we should be able to get that done as well so that you can basically on the go drop in new tables in the bot. Now let this TRS drop, please. So trades going.
Color doesn't mean much. Doesn't much.
Yes, Arthur, I think I can also cover that in this live stream so that we have everything covered. So what I will do, if this alert goes off first, or I might do that in a second, I will just set up a more complex strategy while you guys are watching, and then set it up with the indicator that we provide, so that you have like buy and sell alerts triggering a certain logic. But that will definitely take longer for it to kick in. What you can see here is that we have something happening. So there, I started a bear table, which, as you guys saw, I dropped in a new table while the bot was running, and it actually worked. The only thing that didn't work is the naming on the user interface. So they're called differently. So the bear table has moved one step up, uh, and the test table was the one that is actually the bear table. Anyway, that is not too big of an issue currently. We will fix it, of course. It's good to know. But yeah, it worked. So they're both running. So I also have a bear table running, which is also TRS restricted. So it waits for certain TRS to be hit and then price to be praised, and then it will start DCAing into short. So we might see that one starting in a second here. And I might stop it just to make sure that when we reach the 2 TRS, yeah, I should actually stop it, because if we retrace, the other table will also kick in and it will be hard for us to figure out which agent is which order, basically. So yeah. go, guys. I think we filled even some orders. Let's see. Oh, it got removed, I think. Let's see the order history. Yeah, still orders again. There you go. So as soon as the TRS hits the value of 24, our buy orders come in, and then we had a pump. Okay. And we did fill some orders, so two of them got filled. So we have $5 sell here and a $5 sell here. And if we might have messed this up a little bit, but we should be able to see some statistics on that. Yeah, so the bear, the stream 1 agent and the stream 2 agent have both entered the trade, and the stream, they've both not exited yet. All right, so that's what we have currently. Did we exit there? Yeah, we exit on one of the trades, which was probably the one that we said prevent exits because it came up and yeah, it wasn't always there in the order book. So oh yeah, we can see that here probably in a second. So yes, it was. Oh, it was stream 2 agent, which has closed one position. Okay, one long position. We realized 13 Satoshis, no drawdown, so that was great. This one has 7 Satoshi drawdown currently on its long position, and 7 Satoshi UPNL, but a 3 Satoshi PNL from the limit order it took. Right, so that just shows what value the limit order has, and after a while the realized profit of certain agents, which will just be so high that they can't really get into a profit even for not taking the very best positions, if that makes sense. Okay, there we go. We're trying to buy again. So dynamically to the market, moving up and down, we're starting to place our limit orders in and out, of course. Um, so I hope this really shows how powerful the tool is because it is so fast that we haven't really seen them being placed, but sometimes we just look and we see that it's dynamically moving with the market. We already took one exit, so that's great. Um, and yeah, this is all fun and games because we have a nice short position. So this is the way that I'm trying to do that. So have a position, build up, and then yeah, take profit at every dip using TES, for example. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it to this because this video has already been going for like an hour. Yeah, more than an hour, and I will do yeah, I will do another one tomorrow. Go into the webhooks in more detail, set up the webhooks in our trading indicator or something. Just to summarize, guys, I will close off the bot. If you want to set up trading view alerts, what you do is you take out Tess. Where is she? Let me look for my test. Yeah, this is my test. Okay, you run the new UI. Okay, then you go into the source folder. Okay, you first wait for test, of course, to load the table before you do anything. So the first thing you wait for is all these things to happen and the bot to be initialized. And then you get this Genesis Algo screen, and you wait until it tells you you're ready to go. So should be any time now. All right, that shouldn't take that long, so something went wrong there. Might have clicked into a screen, so if, yeah, you guys can do the same, you can just restart your system. It's very easy. It's not ideal, but yeah, didn't work this time. I'm also using a different version from you guys, so I think yours should be working normally. All right, so it's loading up. Maybe because I'm trying to drag these things into my other screen. Yeah, there we go. This looks better. Okay, so we have the 4-second countdown, blah blah blah, and then your uh, bot should be loading up. Okay. Okay, it took a little bit longer. I don't know what. Oh, maybe the bear table has a lot of agents. I think that's why it takes a little bit longer. But okay, they loaded up. Let's refresh our test UI. And so, okay, your bot is loaded up. It took, it took a little bit longer than normal, but okay, it's loaded. And what we do next is we go to the source folder. We press into this window. We type CMD and press enter. Then you get another window. You type Python webhook1.py. Okay, Python webhook1.py. This will allow tests to start receiving webhooks. Okay, into the source folder, press here, type cmd, and then you type python webhook1.py, and then you get that window. It should look like this. Okay, now it's ready to receive signals. So what you do is you open up a port for the signals to be received. You do that using Ngrok. We went over that in the first part of the video. So you log into an Ngrok, you open a connection, then you'll get a link, which the link should look something like this without the slash webhook. So you add the slash webhook to your link, okay? And what you do next is you go to your trading view chart, and let's open up a new one. I think I will make this last part into instruction video because I'm just summarizing it. It might be more useful than such a long overextended video. So BTC USD for Bybit, and you open an indicator that you want to set alert for example, um, invite. Um, yeah, let's just do our own indicator. By the way, I wanted to make a separate video on that, but we can surely do it on this video as well. No, let's not do it in this video, by the way, because it's good better for a separate video. So invite only. We're gonna just use some random trading view indicator. Okay, so we double click it, and well, we have all these things, but we don't really care about that. What we want to do is we want to create a new alert, paste our webhook URL here, I mean. So there's already one here. So you click this webhook URL, and this you get from the Ngrok that we save to a notepad, or we don't have to save it to a notepad, but I just put it here so that I can paste it into the webhook alert. Okay, so I pasted the link in, and then you create the message that we went over in the beginning of the video from the test UI, and you copy that message here, and you give the alert a name. All right, then you can pick here what you want it to do. So you choose your indicator from the conditions of this alert. You pick your indicator, then you tell which type of indicator do you, which kind of alert do you want to start trading on. So let's say this is the buy indicator. So as soon as this indicator prints a buy signal, this alert will go off. You can choose only once per bar, once per bar close, once per bar, or once per minute. I would advise once per bar close. So if the candle is closed and the buy signal is confirmed, then you'll basically start activating that table, or you'll start receiving the signal. So once per bar close, I've set it like this, and then the webhook URLs and everything, the buy alert signal, and you basically press create. Okay, and then the alert will be active, and it will be received by your Ngrok connection, and the Ngrok connection will send it to Tess, and Tess will start trading it. Okay, so I hope that this was a good summary, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Um, Not before we quickly have a look at what happened here. So we exited our two trades, or multiple trades even, and the logic was, oh, I restarted the bot, so it doesn't make sense to restart the user interface right now. Okay, guys, that was the video, and I hope you guys learned something, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.